Imagine this. A month from now, you're sitting in a clinic, cuff around your arm, watching the numbers on the blood pressure and cholesterol report like it's a verdict on your future. Now imagine those numbers quietly, clearly, better. Not because you doubled your meds or swallowed a miracle pill, but because for 30 days, you treated your heart like it mattered more than your habits. That's the story we're about to write together. Cholesterol sounds like a villain, but it's not the enemy. It's a type of fat your body actually needs for building cells, making hormones like estrogen and testosterone, and helping produce vitamin D. The trouble begins when there's too much of the wrong kind. When LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, starts to pile up along artery walls, narrowing the space where blood should flow freely. The sneaky part. Most of the time, you feel nothing. No pain, no alarm. Just a quiet build-up toward heart attacks and strokes. Inside your blood, two main characters are at work. LDL, the cholesterol that can cross into vessel walls and leave fatty streaks behind, and HDL, the good cholesterol, which acts like a cleanup crew, carrying excess cholesterol back to the liver to be processed. You want LDL low, HDL high, not because of a number on paper, but because of what those numbers mean for every heartbeat you haven't lived yet. A cardiologist doesn't just look at a lab result, they look at your life. A slim, 70-year-old woman with a cholesterol of 6.3 who doesn't smoke, stays active, and has no family history of heart disease may be at lower risk than a 50-year-old man with the same number, carrying extra weight, drinking nightly, pre-diabetic, with a cigarette habit. Cholesterol is not a simple villain, it's part of a bigger risk puzzle. And the modern world, with its ultra-processed food, constant sitting, and quiet stress, stacks the pieces against you. Here's the hope. If most high cholesterol today is lifestyle-related, it also means lifestyle can be the cure. You don't have to wait for a prescription to start moving the needle. In many cases, a focused month, 30 days of deliberate choices, can lower your LDL by 10–20% or more. Not magically, not instantly, but measurably. The question is, what would you be willing to change for a month if it meant giving your heart more years? Start with what's on your plate. Forget the obsession with low-fat labels for a moment and listen to a simpler rule. Choose real fats from real foods. Butter-laden pastries, processed meats, pies, cookies. These are saturated fat bombs that push LDL up and quietly erode your arteries. But swinging wildly to low-fat processed food isn't the answer either. Those light, diet, and low-calorie products are often packed with sugar, additives, and emulsifiers that spike your blood sugar, disturb your gut bacteria, and fan the flames of inflammation. Instead of chasing packaging claims, chase single-ingredient foods. Think oily fish, nuts, seeds, olives, avocado, fats that nourish instead of clog. A handful of nuts instead of a packet of crisps. Half an avocado on whole grain toast instead of a buttery pastry. Olive oil on your salad instead of a creamy mystery ingredient dressing. These are simple swaps, but each one is a vote for smoother blood flow and quieter arteries. Now picture something as ordinary as a tomato sitting on your counter. Bright red, glossy skin, seeds packed inside. It doesn't look like medicine, but it carries lycopene, a powerful antioxidant with a special trick. It can attach to LDL particles and help prevent them from oxidizing, which is one of the first steps toward plaque formation. Studies have shown that a high tomato diet can lower LDL and gently raise HDL, and that even something as simple as tomato juice can make a difference in a matter of days. Imagine pouring a glass of pure, unsalted tomato juice each afternoon. Rich, slightly tangy, no sugar added. Or simmering tinned tomatoes into a simple sauce for your beans, your vegetables, your lean proteins. Cooking actually makes lycopene more available to your body. One small change, tomatoes every day, slowly rewrites the chemistry inside your vessels. Not dramatic, just deeply consistent. Then, in the quiet of morning, your day begins with a choice. Sugary cereal that spikes your blood sugar and fades, or a bowl of oats that quietly goes to work on your cholesterol. Oats are special because of a soluble fiber called beta-glucan. When you eat it, it forms a gel-like texture in your gut, binding to cholesterol and limiting how much gets absorbed into your bloodstream. That simple bowl becomes more than breakfast. It becomes a sponge, Research has shown that adding around 75 grams of oats a day can reduce LDL by around 10% in a month. Think about that. Not adding a pill, adding a food. In one study, that single change made a visible difference on blood tests. For some people, like one well-known doctor who tested it on himself, it lowered LDL by almost 25% in 4 weeks. Imagine your spoon as a quiet tool, scraping future plaque off your timeline. From oats, we move to plants with another secret weapon, sterols and stanols. These molecules look a lot like cholesterol to your body. Similar size, similar shape. When you eat them, they compete with cholesterol for absorption in the intestine. Every time a plant's sterol or stanol gets through, a cholesterol molecule is turned away. It's like handing out tickets to a lifeboat. Only a few can board. You don't need special fortified products to get them. Nature already packed them into everyday foods. Broccoli, cauliflower, and avocado are rich in plant sterols. Peanuts, almonds, and sunflower seeds provide stanols. When your plate is full of green vegetables, crunchy nuts, seeds, and creamy avocado, you're not just eating healthy, you're actively blocking some of the cholesterol from getting deeper into your system. Fortified margarine tubs and processed drinks with added sterols might seem attractive, but they lack the full package. You may get some benefit for cholesterol, but you miss the fiber, vitamins, antioxidants, and natural balance that come with whole plant foods, and you pay for it with extra additives. A plant-rich plate, on the other hand, gives you everything at once: sterols, fiber, and the kind of nutrition your heart and gut recognize and welcome. Then there are the quiet champions of the pantry: beans, chickpeas, and lentils. We don't always associate them with heart health, but these pulses are low in saturated fat, high in fiber, especially soluble fiber, and brilliant at stabilizing blood sugar. That matters because too many refined carbs, white bread, sugary cereal, white pasta, baked potatoes, pastries, can also tilt your cholesterol and triglycerides in the wrong direction. Picture a plate that used to be dominated by white rice or a big pile of pasta. Now picture half that portion, and in the empty space, you add a generous scoop of lentils, chickpea stew, or a warm bean salad. Same fullness in your stomach. Very different message to your blood. As soluble fiber slows digestion, it captures cholesterol and helps escort it out of the body instead of letting it linger. And then we come to something deceptively small: the moments between meals. Snacking has become so normal that we forget our bodies weren't designed to be in constant digest mode. Your system likes breaks. Time without incoming food lets it adjust hormones, repair cells, and reset. Some research suggests that time-restricted eating, like keeping your meals within a 10-hour window, can decrease LDL, shrink waistlines, and lower triglycerides. Imagine choosing not to snack at all for a few days. Your body gets longer stretches without food, learning again how to dip into stored energy to balance itself. But if snacking is a habit you're not ready to give up, you can still change the quality of what you reach for. This is where nuts quietly shine. Studies have shown that swapping typical snacks, crisps, biscuits, processed bars, for nuts like almonds over a few weeks can lower LDL and improve the way blood vessels function. You're still eating between meals, still satisfying that urge to chew, to crunch. But now, instead of feeding inflammation and plaque, you're feeding your arteries healthy fats, fiber, and antioxidants. Now let's talk about something many people keep as a daily ritual: that glass of wine. For some, it's just half a bottle after work, a way to unwind, to mark the end of the day. But your liver is keeping count. Alcohol is broken down into triglycerides and cholesterol, adding to the burden already circulating in your blood. Over time, this can lead to fatty liver, a tired liver that struggles to clear cholesterol properly. The risk doesn't climb gently. Once you go beyond a couple of drinks a week on a regular basis, the line of danger rises sharply. So for this month, for your heart's sake, imagine a new rule: wine only on weekends, or only on 1 or 2 special nights. Not because joy is forbidden, but because every day your liver gets a break is a day your heart can breathe easier. In your kitchen, one small bottle can become a quiet hero: extra virgin olive oil. The term superfood is thrown around carelessly, but this one comes close to deserving it. The main fat in extra virgin olive oil, monounsaturated fat, has been shown to lower LDL and raise HDL. On top of that, It carries antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that help keep artery walls healthier and less prone to plaques. Imagine trading your usual cooking fat or butter for a rich, peppery drizzle of olive oil on roasted vegetables, in salad dressings, over warm lentils or beans. In long-term studies following tens of thousands of people over decades, those who used the most olive oil had a significantly lower risk of dying from heart disease and even lower risk of neurodegenerative disease deaths. It's not magic, it's a pattern, repeated over years. So how do you turn all of this into one powerful month? You don't need a complicated chart. You need a handful of daily anchors. Oats for breakfast instead of sugary cereal. Tomatoes every day. Juice, sauce, or fresh. Beans and lentils replacing some of your refined carbs. A rainbow of vegetables, especially broccoli and cauliflower. Nuts instead of crisps. Wine only on chosen days, not every day. Butter swapped for extra virgin olive oil. Layered together, these are not random tips. They're a coordinated approach, lowering LDL, supporting HDL, reducing inflammation, smoothing blood sugar, helping your liver, your arteries, and your cells all at once. You may not see the difference in the mirror, but your blood will tell the story. Your future will feel the results. Will it be perfect? No. There will be days you forget the oats, skip the beans, pour the drink, grab the old snack. But one slip doesn't erase the trend. What matters is what you do most of the time. If, for 1 month, you lean hard into these choices, chances are high that your blood test will show it, and your risk curve will quietly bend in your favor. This isn't about living in fear of cholesterol. It's about living in partnership with your heart, about understanding that every meal, every snack, every glass, every pause between meals is either helping clear the traffic in your arteries or adding to the jam. In 30 days, you can't undo a lifetime, but you can absolutely change direction. So as you plan tomorrow's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, remember this. Your fork is not just a tool for hunger. It's a pen that writes your heart's story, line by line, meal by meal. Choose foods that fight for you. Give your body breaks. Sip what heals more often than what harms. And let the next month be a love letter to the arteries that have carried you this far. If this lit even a small spark in you, if you feel your heart asking for better days, stay close for more slow, powerful shifts like this. Tune in, grow with us, and let your next chapter of healing begin here with Vital Dynasty.